What have you learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product?
Having already had a bit of experience with Adobe Photoshop prior to my AS level coursework, I decided to develop my knowledge further by being unnecessarily adventurous with the production of my magazine. I explored extensively tutorials and broadened my knowledge of tools, using the lasso and the eyedropper tool on images to marginally select and correct backgrounds, blurs such as Gaussian and box blur to alter an image's depth of focus and airbrush my artists for a professional looking image, as well as combining commands such as changing the blend mode to screen, adding in drop shadow, and inner glow on the multiply setting with a low opacity, and bevel and embossing to construct particular sections on my double page spreads photo montage. In addition to extending my knowledge of Adobe Photoshop, through the design and construction of my media product, I also became more at ease using an Apple Mac, a device I had hardly any practice with beforehand, though I found incredibly useful in the documenting of the magazine construction process through the quick and convenient screenshots that allowed me to select the areas of which I wished to capture. I also found this technology of aid to me for its reliability and speed, and the monitor size allowed for a much more to scale image of my magazine, helping me to imagine it as if it were an A4 printed media text, and so how to make it look appropriate accordingly. From this project I also picked up knowledge of WordPress, a blogging site which I had never used before. I felt it was confusing and irritating to use initially, but soon learnt how to use it efficiently, and found it was actually incredibly useful in the organisation of my project and myself. Through the option to alter publishing dates, I could ensure my work was in the correct order and find a particular piece effortlessly, and from it being cloud-based I could access my work from both college and home. Now, at the end of my project, I've even created a secondary blog for the work of my other subjects, so it is easily accessible and organised, due to the categories that can be created and the date of publishing. I also liked that the entire college year's work was situated in the same place, as it meant there would always be an example accessible if at times I didn't understand the work, or if I was absent from the taught lessons. Finally, I also learnt how to better use my DSLR camera. I had saved up for a Canon 600D and hadn't been presented with many opportunities to use it accordingly, but over the construction of this project I took hundreds of photos, and as a result I received a good amount of practice manually focusing and positioning, as well as which settings produce the best images. I felt the landscape or flash off setting produced much more flattering images of my artists than the portrait setting I had originally expected. I also learnt how to properly use the studio equipment in conjunction, using an additional flash sensor, a softbox, and a black line light for one of my photo shoots to produce many professional looking images.